My name is Mahesh Sardesai. I'm product expert from S4HANA Regional Implementation Group. In this video, we'll be covering S4HANA 1610 best practices content activation. This slide shows the steps of content activation. First, you have to prepare the client, then import the reference content, which is provided through a transport, then select scope items according to model company. Then the last part is to start activation of the content. There may be some manual steps as well as some exception handling. This slide shows more detailed view of the first step to import reference content. So here we see the blog on the left. The links show previous blogs. There's a link for the admin guide which is used as a reference for the steps mentioned here. The link provides admin guide in browser mode, and you can click on download as PDF to get the offline version of the admin guide. First, let us check the component level of the system to make sure it is as per S4HANA 1610. Enter T-code spam and check package level. In the installed product version tab, you can see the product versions. In the installed software component version tab, you can see the component levels. Check that they are as per the list. Now we go to the node browser and check all the nodes are applied as per release information node. You have to apply node 2383420 using S-node. After applying the node, there's some manual steps to be carried out. Specify the transport number in client 000. Do the manual steps. First run ABAP program node 2383420. Then enter the T-code SOBJ as mentioned. Click on maintain button. And for the object v_t102, change the category from APPL to cust. Also, you need to check if note 2354979 is applied, which is needed for best practices. Next, we check SMLT transaction code to check the languages imported. The next step is to activate enterprise business functions. So here you put a check mark on each of the business functions required. Some of them are activated by default. Please note that as per admin guide, some of these require additional licenses as shown here. Some of the business functions are always on for a newly installed system. After putting the check mark on the specified business function, take menu option System Settings, activate. Click on Activate Changes, and the job will be running in the background for less than a minute. Next step is to create a record in a config table. /fti/t no cln000 with the client number 100. This is the client number we are going to create. Next step is to go to SCC4 and add client 100. Please keep logical system blank as it will be populated with the content activation scripts. Also, the currency field has to be blank and the client role should be test client. Click on save. To do the client copy using T-code SCCL, enter client copy profile SAP_UCAS. Define parallel processes. We have chosen 20 parallel processes here. By clicking button RFC group, it takes us to the T-code RZ12. You can create a profile and save and select the profile for the RFC group. Now after this, we have to create RFC destination. Add it to the transaction code finbtr_dest. So here's a creation of RFC ZK000. Specify the server name, user logon details, and do a test to confirm. Then you can go to transaction finbtr_dest, add the record to this transaction code, and then we continue our client copy. So check mark immediately and click on schedule job. You can monitor the client copy using T-code SCC3. At the end, you will have three tables which need to be adjusted in SC14. So go to SC14 and take menu option extras, force conversion. You can do the second table and the third table the same way and rerun copy errors to complete the client copy. Next, we have to import the transport for best practices content activation. This is available in the note and also provided in the mobile link attached. Add the transport request to the buffer one by one. Then select both transport requests and import together. Target client is 000. Ignore invalid component version. Next, we are performing steps as per 2.3.2.1 in admin guide, deselecting activation link in BC sets. Go to T-code SCPR20 utilities menu, system settings, change to do not create and save. The next step is to check user settings as shown and also SAP GUI settings. Here we check the SAP Propal parameters using RZ11. Go to Solution Builder transaction and take menu option Solution Import from reference content solution XML. In the dialog that appears, the trick is to click 2 times on the changed on column to select the top USB3 file for 1610. Let us match with the snapshot in the blog. Import will take less than 3 minutes. Then we import the installation data from reference content. Trick here again is to click on changed on column 2 times to sort by date and to bring the latest one at the top. So select the file which is dated 28 October 2016. It will take 3 minutes for the content to be imported. Check the logs to make sure there are no errors. So at this point you change the scope items if your model company is with reduced scope items. So here what you do is remove the checkbox of scope items that are not applicable. The next step is to run program to remove not installed languages. There are only two languages which are installed. Then we go to the transaction code SCC4 to check if settings are correct. Here we come back to the solution builder. Here we need to edit the building block J20 underscore OP to locate the structuring element request for quotation, activity SIMG underscore CF menu OL MEOMEA. The slide shows the proper terminology to be used for this hierarchy. Click on the activity so the details of the activity are shown at the bottom. Click on solution specific. Select the first object ID and click on installation data. Choose maintain variant. Remove Axe from the field I underscore ABGEBOT. Save and exit. Now select the second object ID. Click on installation data. Select line width third column equal to F0. Delete the line by clicking on the icon on top. Save and exit. At this point, we are ready to activate the best practices for this profile. Now you have to mark this profile favorite. At this point, we have to activate. We are ready to activate. The clock shows 12:20. Click on activate. After 2 minutes, you get a dialog in which you can enter the target language. Also, to skip this screen from appearing again and again every time there is an error, you can check mark on skip this screen. Now, for convenience, you can set a timer because the error may come at about 20 minutes if you haven't configured Vortex. After 20 minutes, the error which you get for missing vertex configuration, the solution is to go into IMG option and remove the check mark for activate external updating. Click on change to confirm status of this step so the activation moves forward. Then again it's waiting time. The next error which is mentioned in the document you only get if you don't do SCHAN. So since I did SCHAN, I'm not going to get that error, and my waiting time is 1 hour 20 minutes. This next error is again due to vertex configuration missing. And you have to take the IMG option to remove the defined connection with external tag system. And also there is another option to activate external text calculation. In this case, don't forget to remove the check mark on the last field. And ensure you save the IMG option and exit from there, otherwise the table gets locked and you get further more errors. Then we have to wait 15 minutes and we get an error at the building block BM6. Here we select the log, click on the glasses on the right for detail. Select the second line below the error. You get a performance assistant steps as shown and the steps to be done here. Open another screen and execute the ABAP program as mentioned. Specify client 100. Click on execute. Go back and execute the second program. Leave client empty. Initial load should be checked. Check mark on activate insert only and execute. So come back and activate on the implementation assistant. Next we have to wait for 1 hour and 10 minutes. I have chosen to skip the step here to create scheduling agreement, but if you're using Vertex, then you need to configure this. There's a document to be followed, which is for Vertex config, and this document is attached to the note as mentioned. Next, the wait timer should be set for 20 minutes. And here we did not get error for assign navigation target. So next we get error at block BGZ at the activity for main supply area. The solution here is to upload the ECAD scripts. These scripts are supplied in the mobile link doc. Select overwrite mode and confirm transport, which pops up 4 times. Then wait for 5 minutes, and if vertex is not configured, you will again get an error at create scheduling agreement. Please enter status confirmation. And a second error pops up immediately afterwards at create source list. The last wait is about 15 minutes. Then we get a message that solution is activated. Congratulations. Hope you have enjoyed the presentation, and thank you for viewing.